Hello everyone, we are FFF from Greenwich University. So today's video is going to be our CEO talk. Firstly, we have Chen, comes from Google. I come from Starbucks. Hao comes from Apple. Hang is from Coca-Cola, and Hui from Facebook. Like everyone knows, the Coca-Cola is the most famous beverage brand all over the world. The Coca-Cola is an American multinational corporation, a manufacturer, retailer of soft drink and non-alcoholic beverage. Now I will talk about the organizational cultures of the Coca-Cola. According to Strand model, there are three levels of organizational cultures. The first one is artifact. Artifacts show the symbol and the sign of cultures, including physical structure, ritual, languages, story to maintain and convey the cultures of organizational. There are some key areas in the artifact like the company logo, the term colors, slogan, physical structure of product. The first one I will talk about the Coca-Cola logo. This is the one of the most recognizable symbol in the world. The red and white color in Coca-Cola logo as simple, playful, special to attract the young audiences. While the red represents for passion, determination, youthfulness, the white represents for the charm, the elegance of the Coca-Cola brand. The fonts of the logo is fancy style with a confusing style. The latest slogan of Coca-Cola is "Open Happiness" in 2009. I will talk about the values of Coca-Cola. Their inclusive culture is determined by 7 core values: the leadership, passion, integrity, collaboration, diversity, quality, and accountability. Their main promise as Coca-Cola company is to renew the world in the mind, the body, the spirit, and inspire optimistic movement to create the value and make the difference. Their diverse workplace strengths include programs to attract, retain, and develop diverse talents, provide support systems for groups with diverse backgrounds, and educate on their partners so that they can master the skill to achieve the sustainable growth. The next one is the final one. The basic underlying assumption are the foundation on the cultures is based. Basic underlying assumptions are often difficult to describe, maybe it's invisible, and are usually only really understood by the people who are familiar with how the organization works. The Coca-Cola work hard to ensure comprehensive and fair working in the environment for their associates, on those who undergo varieties of trainers on regular basis. I think the Coca-Cola sees ongoing dialogue leading to the better understanding of college suppliers, customers, stakeholders to be more successful in the market. The next one I'm gonna talk about the power and the politics in the Coca-Cola. The powers is the main means to direct and control organization goals and activities. The organizational structure of Coca-Cola is characterized by both mechanical and organic structure. The companies had the centralized structures, but recently there is a change. It's moving from the centralized to the decentralized structure. The Coca-Cola recognized the importance of the meeting the changing needs of customers. This awareness had played an important role in the transition from the centralized structure to decentralized structure of Coca-Cola. Organizational politics and activity in which managers participate to increase their strength, the goals, benefit their individual and group interests. We have the two main group of operations include business management and bottling. The company activity are also divided into different areas such as US, Europe, North America, Africa, and so on. To meet the needs of the customer in different regions, it will work a lot to allow and encourage decision making at the local level. In this way, the upper managers can spend more time on long-term plans instead of spending time on small and short-term issues. The Coca-Cola believes in the content theories of motivation, one of which Maslow demand the five levels of demand: the psychological needs, safety net, love and belonging, atom, and self-actualization. Often a person who begins their career will be very interested in philosophical needs, such as food waste, stable income, security needs, such as safe work and environment. Coca-Cola had a good salary to meet the needs of the family and want to work in the stable environment. Employees with the low unmet needs will make work decisions based on the concern about the compensation, safety, and stability. Once these basic needs are met, the employee will want their needs to be met. This means that effective interpersonal relations are necessary. The managers can create an environment where the employee collaboration is rewarded. This will encourage effective interpersonal. The need for self-esteem is associated with the image of its employees and the desire to be respected and recognized by others. Cross-training, job enrichment, and special assignment are common methods to make the job more rewarding in Coca-Cola Company. Furthermore, the Coca-Cola allow employees to participate in the decision making on operational issues and are powerful to make employees self-esteem needs. Finally, the symbol of the activities such as the meaningful job title, work and rewards, beautiful office, the business cards, workspace, and so on are important for the employee. The weak self-implementation, the employee will be interesting personal growth and development. They will also need to be skilled in what they do. They may want to challenging job an opportunity to define their own project to meet the goals of organization. At the highest level, the managers focus on the promoting an environment where an employee can meet their own self-fulfillment needs. Yeah, that's all about the cold color I researched on. Thank you.
So now I'm going to talk about my company, Google. It was founded in 1998 by two founders, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. At that time, we were established under the form of the searching tool and a subsidiary of the Alphabet company. Currently, our head office campus is located in Mountain View, California, United States. The address can be found. You can find our company at 1006 Amphitheater Piggery, Mountain View, USA. So we can find us at like the most famous searching engine on www.google.com. But to know more about our company, like the details or the information about the employees, you can find it on the website www.google.org. Currently, we are under the control of a two-class corporate ownership structure, with the common stock from the public is classified as Class A with 1 vote per share, and the founders and owner manager would hold a Class B stock of 10 votes per share. This would give us the benefit to control over the strategy of the company. So now I'm going to talk about the organizational culture of Google for you guys to have a better know about it. The culture of us varies in many aspects, which could have an influence on the working environment of the employees. Our 3 core values can be defined under innovation, flexibility, and happiness. Understanding these could allow us to have a better controlling of the company and also motivate the employees to do their best. Talking about the core value, the first one is all about the flexibility. We understand the staff here, they need to have like a relaxed working environment, so we provide them the best that we can. Like they can work whenever they want, wherever they want, and also how they want. This method creating the uniqueness of Google and brought significant impact, so that like they found the creativity in the part to create the product, and also this is a sustainable way for achieving tasks, since they do not have to suffer from any pressure. Therefore, the productivity of the staff can be better described after a period of applying the flexibility. Moreover, by recognizing the importance of developing technology all over the world, we know that innovations cannot be shortaged from the company culture. Here at Google, employees are encouraged to use the method think outside the box to develop the products. Not only that, we also build spaces for employees to have conversations together. This allows them to share new ideas and also process too. And by creating new ideas, they can bring the best product to the users. We also have like a suitable courses for employees to gain their knowledge. For example, like training courses, orientation, or learning group inside the campus could benefit them with high opportunities of getting special skill. After a long while of applying this, it's so a concern from the managers for the worker. This proved that Google's this system still work very effectively. Because they got like sharing and they got no pressure from it. So this is to the final value, which is happiness. happiness is a vital feature that most of the staff concerned about. Besides salaries, happiness is one of the most features that they usually take care about when starting to work in a company. They want to have less stressful working environment. This brings them to the ideas with high innovation. You also create many spaces and many kinds of entertainment for them to relax after many hours of working. Cafeteria can be a good example of this. People could come here and talk and chatting, worship, to release their pressure. Furthermore, we also holding parties, activities that connect people together. At the same time, this also helps to build their relationships to enhance the effectiveness in task achieving. Therefore, now Google is based on the system of a small community with people that consider each other is their family or friends. Now they tend to be more helpful to each other. So after all, we knew that it is not complicated to have a strong culture. It's just we need to have core values, and these ask the employees to follow them by setting examples from the leaders. Here at Google, the power are shared. It can be understood as decentralization power, where the employees can have the chance to express themselves, their opinions. They are not outside by the managers could not take over all things. Now they can share themselves, oh, I have something new, can I share with you? I think this is good like that. But on the other hand, to leaders, we consider leaders need to have the expert power. They should be equipped with skills and ability to manage and guide others. Since they got more experiences in this industry, they should guide the others to follow. Not only that, reference power is based on relationship like love-like. So with reference power, they got a huge influence on the employees too. One of our CEO used to state that it's important to managers to be a good communicator, because you know how to listen, you know how to share, then you can understand what your employees are wanting. So now I'm going to talk about the application of skin models. We use skin models in our company with 3 levels. The first one is the main, the vital one, which is the first one is the vital one, which is artifacts. The second is expert values, and the third is basic assessment and values. The first one is about the thing that we can see, we can identify. Here at Google, the suit does not define you. You can wear anything you want to work as long as it allows you to work effectively. With the values come just because with the second one we focusing on for users. In the end, if we put much of our concentration on the user, then the others could follow. The employees consider managers as their examples. Finally, basic expectation and principle are the core or essence of the culture, which consists of fundamental values and expectation that are hard to discern because the fundamental values in mainly unconscious context are core. This also relates to the later core values of Google innovation. It means that we consider the need of the information at the prior, since information would allow us to go beyond boundaries. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about a more different one. This would decide the fact that an employee are gonna stay in the company or not. This is motivation. By using Maslow hierarchy of needs, we identify the policies, program, practice, and also technique of Google's that can retain the talents. The first one is about the physical needs. As you can see in the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the first one is like about food, drinks, and also like the basics for a human being to alive. So we apply this. So we offer like free food and beverage at work, so that they could use it, or a fitness centers for their health. Later, we also concerned about work-life balance, because they need to have time for their family too. Secondly, it's about the psychological safety. This means that we have to ensure the safety regarding psychology to make sure that the employees could have the effective working environment and contribute their best of themselves to the development of our company. Health insurance is also offered to employees in our company in order to keep them the best condition of health. The third practice in Maslow hierarchy is love or belonging. Here at Google, employees are permitted to bring their kids or their pet to work. And some of the research had given that when your mind relaxes, you would perform better. We also offer a place for young children to play while their parents are at work. By this, Googlers here can work in peace of mind and at the same time be in touch with their beloved one. Esteem need is the fourth in the Maslow hierarchy. At this point, employees expect the managers to reflect their contribution to the organization to have the appropriate awards. So we understand this, and we always cherish what the employees done. We gave them recognitions, and at the end, if they perform good enough, then reward can be given to them, should I like promotion or financial rewards. As a result, this would bring the motivation for the workers to fight forward. Finally, self-actualization. This is a top need for a Maslow hierarchy. It comprises of becoming and justifying the finest individual that a person can. So we ask the employees to choose an organization that we can do charity, or we would offer like if they gonna like volunteering, then we could pay them 1 day for a year. Moreover, if the staff do volunteers together, the third need for love and belonging will also be satisfied, since they can build a relationship with their colleagues. So that is all to share about our company. What do you guys think about the culture? I'm also really interested to hear about you guys too.
Hi everyone, my name is Huy and I'm CEO of Facebook. So Facebook is a social networking service that was launched in February 2004, run and owned privately by Facebook Incorporated. Facebook now has over 800 million active customers, and Mark Zuckerberg and his friend is the founder. So the head office of Facebook is at number 1 Hathaway Menlo Park in California, and its official website is worldwidewebfacebook.com. So Facebook has 6 biggest shareholders, and Mark Zuckerberg is the biggest one among them. So let's move to the Facebook culture, and I will describe it through the sharing model. As you know, the sharing model has 3 levels. The first level is the employee assumed value. can be measured but that make a difference to the organizational culture. It's quite hard for everyone to imagine, but it is right there. It can affect the organization culture. So the Facebook industry has three core values, which are move fast, and you can understand it like moving fast help the Facebook employee to do things faster, saving time to be able to do more. And the second one is be bold. This means that the employees can have the courage to make their own decision, no matter if it is right or wrong. It is okay to make wrong decision, and then employee can consider it as an opportunity to review themselves and improve themselves. And the last one is be open. This make it easier for the employees to take on new things and theoretically be able to absorb the right thing and improve themselves. So the second level of sharing model is public statement about the values of organization. Many organizations are now communicating with their key value and the value that the organization embraces by conducting its company. And founded in 2004, the mission of Facebook is to empower individuals to create community and bring the world closer together. People use Facebook to stay connected to friends and family, to find out what is happening in the world, and to share and express what matters to themselves. Thanks to such a noble purpose, Facebook Incorporated employees will be able to concentrate on working hard to have that noble purpose spread throughout. In addition, Facebook employees have a lot of people who are also the Facebook customer. So when they improve their product, they are also helping themselves too. The third level are the organization features that people are easily recognize as artifact. So it means that they can easily see their eyes or hear and feel it. So like other large company, Facebook is a well-known company with a large number of employees and characteristics of internal culture. Facebook gives its employees a lot of benefits such as company stock, free food in the office, and laundry area, comfortable workplace. This will help employees to work comfortably without having to suffer from limitation of outside physical factor. Since then, the productivity and performance of the employees will be improved. Yeah. Let's move to the Facebook politics. The organization policy is a collection of best practice and guidelines intended to safeguard business, staff, and client. Organizational strategy may include work practice, conduct of employees, disciplinary prosecute, use of internet and email. Customer policy offer advice as to what client can expect from the organization to work with client and outline. So Facebook has a lot of policy, but I will just mention one of it, which is the abuse policy. So there are something that you cannot post on Facebook, and here it is. The first one is post content that do not comply with Facebook community standard. For example, like threatening, hate speech, or security image, like 18 plus image. Yeah. The second one is use Facebook to bully and impersonate or harass anyone. The last one is abuse Facebook feature. For example, like send friend invitation to many people you don't know. Abuse of feature that can make other people feel uncomfortable or unsafe. Therefore, Facebook should limit it to the speed of using this feature. Thanks to this policy, Facebook can control the content uploaded and can promptly prevent content that violate the regulation. Since then, Facebook has a clean network and does not leave a bad impression to their customer. So now I'm gonna evaluate the Facebook motivation policy and how it affects the employees. In order to assess the Facebook staff encouragement, I will apply Maslow hierarchy of needs to clarify that. So, Facebook provides a lot of encouragement for its employees, for example, like offer truly meaningful work. Laurie Goller, the HR department manager, said that they allow new technicians to choose their team, partly based the choice on where they think they will have the most significant effect, and partly on organizational requirement. This encouragement helps employees feel close to the people they love, or feel safe because they are working with the people they trust. Another encouragement is that the Facebook encourage the true authenticity. It's very hard to imagine, but you can, for example, like your CEO is wearing a T-shirt with a hoodie to work on a daily basis, and announced that he is taking holiday leave for 2 months. This is very rare to meet at other companies, but in Facebook it is very normal. So, in short, you just need to be yourself in Facebook. That's all. Another motivating method which feels very effective is salary. Facebook has a very well known for the high paid salary, and technical management in Facebook can have up to $156 per month. And this helps staff to ensure that they will not need to worry about physical issues, for example like poverty or lack of money to support for families. Another encouragement is lifelong learning. Laurie Goller Laurie Goller mentioned that the Mark Zuckerberg was very one intern tell Mark Zuckerberg that you need to practice more before you talk to public, and after that Mark Zuckerberg practiced, and through this you can see that Facebook staff willing to learn new things and very respect college idea, and through this we can see that Facebook has complete the esteem level in Maslow hierarchy of needs. That's all I got for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Hi, I'm the current CEO of Apple company, and now I will talk about the enterprise. My talk will be divided into 3 parts. So the first part is introduction about the company. The second part is organization, culture, politics, and power, and how those aspects influence the individual and team behaviors and performance. The last part is the motivation methods that the leader applies to enhance the working spirit of employees. So we'll turn to the first part. So Apple company was founded by Steve Jobs, who was the previous CEO in 1976. Apple is an American multinational technology corporation, which head office is in Cupertino, California. Moreover, it is a innovation association that creates and improves new products like iPhones, iPad, and MacBook, and so on. So that all about the introduction. Now we will talk about the organization, culture, and politics. So I will talk about the strange model, the model about 3 levels of culture. So those 3 levels are assumption, or also known as core value. The second level is values, and the third level is artifacts. So the first level, assumption, is everything linked to perception, beliefs, thought, or feelings. Moreover, they are also invisible, which cannot be easily seen from the outside. Meanwhile, the second level values are strategies, goals, philosophies, and justification, particularly like designs for open correspondence about new thoughts and ways to deal with. So yeah, and the last stage of organization culture is the most visible past artifacts, which includes like organization, organization structure, logo, slogan, the facility in the company. So okay, that's all about the strength model, and applying that model into Apple company. So the first, Apple has numbers of like different outstanding points that make it be unique among other enterprises. The first distinction is consideration and diversity, which means Apple employs people from many countries and continents, such as Black people, Hispanic people, Native American, Native Hawaiian, and other Pacific Islander. And furthermore, it also puts the effort in balancing women and men recruitment. In particular, the percentage of new contracts of whites, Asian, Black, Hispanic, and multiracial are like 46%, 24%, 13%, and 13% respectively. So, discussing about female and male balance, Apple Inc. has 37% new female contracts appeared differently in relation to 32% worldwide present female contract. Meanwhile, current male contracts account for 63%. So as a result, this difference leads to the fact that each employee in the corporation has a basics about others' nature and custom, so that they can innovatively create products that meet the needs of people around the world. So the second culture of Apple is that every staff in the company have Apple logo on their clothes, having Apple guard stickers, and talking like generous to other people. And this leads to the fact that the customer or other enterprise see that culture as one identifying characteristic of Apple company. Moreover, it also enhances the relationship between employees to employees and between employers to employers, and it also reduces possibility of controversy. Okay, but however, because of the worker lack of energy due to the chain of command culture, Apple Corporation generally turn into new type of culture which called market culture. So that means the corporation began to emphasize the aggressiveness, achieving results, and it brings about a lot of advancement and innovations. So besides to mention culture, which related to organization development, employee development is also a crucial part of Apple company's culture, which covers plenty of broad and focused benefits for its workers. These advantages involve worker rebates, representative stock by design, transportation help, extra security, medical coverage, and so on. So due to the numbers of above benefits, the staff of Apple can have the better feelings and reinforced by the enterprise. Therefore, there is a recommendation that Apple should continue offering their advantage bundle in purchase in their worker to entirely use those benefits and make the task offer with the pack even more commonly available for individual. So that is all about the politics and culture of Apple. So now talking about the power of Apple company. According to Bauer and O'Dogan, power is the capacity to impact the behavior and attitudes of other people to get what you need. And power is also divided into two types that are centralized power and decentralized power. The first one is centralized power, which means all the decision and procedure are making by the top of business, the owners. However, the decentralization, the decentralized power have a totally different ways of administration. Particularly, manager and employees are assigned tasks by the executive or owners, and they maintain an extremely free interaction between each other. Furthermore, the organization administrator will depend mainly on the executive to impart and deal with the decision making. And take Apple company as an example. So it is a centralized organization with the considerable divisional function and a fractal structure matrix. In addition, its organizational structure contributes to the efficiency and quick innovation. And moreover, so particularly on decision in the part on decision went through Steve Jobs. So that means Steve Jobs took on the significant strategy choices of leadership. But however, now under the management of Tim Cook, this structure changed a little bit. So the company now has more cooperation between various components of organization, such as software teams and hardware teams. Furthermore, the vice presidents of Apple have more autonomy, which under Jobs era was restricted and minimal. But now the organizational structure of the company is therefore less rigid now, but it still had a spoken and will hierarchy where Tim Cook is at the center, which means Tim Cook is a person who decide who make most of the decision. So because of following the centralized structure, so because of following this kind of power, Apple has some outstanding advantages, like for instance, strong corporate control, which means hierarchy supports powerful organizations, leadership control. In theory, hierarchy empowers top leaders like Tim Cook to regulate the organization entirety. Through the structure, the CEO and other top managers efficiently control company tasks and product-based organization. So that is all about the first part, culture, politics, and power of Apple company, and how those aspects influence the behavior and performance of employees within the enterprise. I turn to the last part, which is motivation methods that have been applied to enhance the working spirits of employees. So, motivation is the method by which the attempt of a person to achieve an objective or energized, directed, and maintain it. Some of the motivators are family with business issues such as management knowledge, job security, excellent salaries, exciting job possibilities, and so on. And in order to evaluate Apple motivation method, I will first talk about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So there are 5 levels of needs of people needs. The lowest level is physiological needs, which include like air, water, food, shelter. Yeah, and the next one, the second level is safety needs, which involves personal security, employment resources, health, and property. Thirdly, love and belonging. Like it related to friendship, intimacy, family, and sense of connection, emotion. And the fourth level is self-esteem, which means that people want others to respect, to recognize their ability, strength, and freedom. And the highest level is self-actualization. That means people are always desire to become the most that one can be. So take Apple for example. It meets the physiological requirements of staff by offering salaries that are adequate to meet the fundamental that meets the fundamental needs of workers, and it frequently makes monthly payments to its staff, and moreover it also offers its employees with some economic incentives such as flexible advantages, investment, saving plans, and investment choices. Furthermore, the Apple company also offer a healthy eating atmosphere for its staff. For instance, the company cafeteria, Cafe Mart, which is a place to eat on the working campus, provides a range of excellent quality food. It also sells different food types like pizza, sushi, pasta, and something else. So Apple company fulfilled the second level, which is safety nets, by providing employees with job security, pension benefits, and a safe working environment. It also offer full-time health insurance to its full-time worker, as well as the part-time stop working at least at 15 hours a week and at least 1 year. So then Apple company meets the third level, the social needs that the enterprise has creates the atmosphere of a team and make sure that the staff understand they are part of something larger. For example, the enormous business has retained the corporate culture of its startup days from its absence of bureaucracy within projects to its engineer-focused culture to its emphasis on enthusiastic and loyal staff. To fulfill the fourth level, Apple company has fulfills the requirements of its staff by emphasizing self-respect and respect for others and praising hard work. The evaluation mechanism have to acknowledge the contribution of people and the significance of celebrating accomplishment. For instance, CEO Tim Cook now observing that a significant discount on Apple products will be provided to the staff, so that employees are already getting like 25% off of Macs and iOS goods, but they will also get an additional $500 off Macs and $250 of iPads in a couple of months. Lastly, about the self-actualization, Apple had met the requirement of its staff, like it pushed the boundaries of how individual works in everything they accomplish with technology. Like in the past, Steve Jobs guided the business to excellence by assisting individuals to develop methods, and they have to develop methods that they never been able to accomplish before, and as the result, the iMac, iPod, and iPhone all played a major part in the launch of fresh markets. So, in conclusion, from all above motivative methods, it can be undeniable that employees of Apple are extremely driven to fulfill their job objective that will guide individuals in their job. And Apple also provide adequate setting and management of objectives that help explain the organization performance expected. Yeah, so that's all about the last part, motivation method that has been applied to enhance the working spirit of staff.
Hi, I'm Joe from Starbucks Corporation. So it is my turn to show you guys how culture of Starbucks operates, and as well as the motivation among Starbucks employees. So at first, I want to share with you the culture of Starbucks. So I apply Schrain's model for this case study. So we start with the inner circle, which is basic assumptions. So in this level, Starbucks have 5 words for their employee to comprehend. First one is welcoming, genuine, considerate, knowledgeable, and involved. So the meaning of those words are like the staff, the baristas, and the waiter, waitress have to be very welcome. Like they have to be welcome for each of the customer be a very respectful person, have a large or abundant amount of knowledge in terms of coffee, of beverage, and finally is to be ready to involved in the community to create a better world. With the second level, which is a little bit larger circle, that is called expound valued. So it is about the statements that organization has made, and it shows how the corporation work. For Starbucks, their mission statement is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So this sentence have two parts. The first one is to inspire and nurture the human spirits. This refers to the humanity and the people-oriented aspect of Starbucks. They want to respect every people in the world, and they believe that people is the power of the world. So the next part is one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. With one person, they want to welcome every guest that come to Starbucks, and they have to cherish each of them. One cup is one cup of beverage should be done with quality, with love, with efforts. The best thing ever in the world should be put in those products to serve the customers. And then the neighborhood, one neighborhood is that they want to create the space, the coffee house that is very comfortable, that offer the best atmosphere for the guests to come in and help them to feel like home, feel free to do the work, to relax and enjoy the beverage. So with the last one, the biggest circle, which is behavior and artifacts. So this one is how customers see and think about the corporation. So when it comes to Starbucks, the products are amazing. They are very famous for beverage already. Besides, they create a very friendly atmosphere that makes every customer feel very comfy. And as well as the staff behavior, their attitude are very friendly, very hot, warm, that are very appreciated in every person, and they did a very good job at training their staff to act very cool. Act very good in front of the guests. So along with the culture, those are the basic ones. They have some policy to not only talking through speech, but policy in Starbucks guarantee that they also do those things through actions. So the first policy was race together. So the CEO, the former CEO of this corporation, he had observed and watched the racism problem in the world, and he asked all the baristas or the coffee maker to also write a line with the content of hashtag race together, and have them to start conversation about race with the customer if they want to. So not only that, the CEO also did a very amazing thing, which is when there's a stock crisis in 2015, the CEO sent email to all like the staff of Starbucks to like encourage them to come through the difficulty time, and he also called his employee partner. That shows a high respect that we can barely found in every person who has high positions. And the next one, I want to talk about power in Starbucks. So power in Starbucks is arranged as decentralization, which allow manager to do whatever they want, so that they can feel free and then be more confident about their decision. So that is the first part. That is the first part of culture, politics, and power. So next up is how work culture and politics influence the behavior of employee. So at first we can easily see that work culture creates something in common between all the employees. So it forces the employees to work as a team rather than alone. And we all know that how solidarity work, how nice it is, how powerful it is. So next one is adopt a flexible attitude. So when people feel they are balanced, they are respected at the same level, they follow the same rule, the same politics, they will feel very free and positive in attitude. So because all the rules and regulation are the same, so they can follow it, like each of them follow it immediately because others do that. It's the same with everyone. And next one is the events, like companies that have the strong culture always have some like activities, like outdoor activities and small events to get them together so they will feel like they are in the same family, and that is very warm and sweet as well. Talking about, say, Starbucks motivation, like how they motivate their own employee, I will use the Maslow's hierarchy for the analysis. So as we have known, Maslow hierarchy have 5 different levels in a pyramid. The lowest one is the most important thing of everyone's life. It is physiological needs. So this can be described as food, water, job security. So in Starbucks, they definitely fulfill the needs such as salary for employees so that they can maintain the life by buying food and accommodation to maintain the life. Before that, they also provide benefits is that Starbucks employee can get a discount on commodities which company offers. With the higher level, which is safety needs, which means that employees should work in a secure environment. And Starbucks is obviously a very clean and safe place to work. It is very healthy and acquire every safety standards like food standards and other standards in safety and in cleanness. And besides, they include medical insurance, dental and vision care for their employees as well. The third level is social needs. So as the one CEO had done is calling their employee as partners, that shows how friendly, how safe and a very welcoming atmosphere. It create a very cherished society inside Starbucks. Everyone is getting very close knit, like brother and sisters, so that they can work better in the near prospects. The next level is esteem needs, such as job. So in the highest level of this pyramid, Maslow hierarchy of needs, it is self-actualization. Well, in this level, people, worker, employee in the organization wants people around them to recognize the effort when working. So in Starbucks, they do put the people who have enough skills and knowledge to training system so as to develop themselves, and in the future whether they can still work with Starbucks or other corporation companies, they can still use the valuable knowledge to maintain the work and promote it to a higher level or position. So that is how Maslow's hierarchy of needs applied in Starbucks. About the influence, it is obvious that when people are motivated better, they will work harder, and it is very essential for the management team of any corporation know how to motivate to get a better outcome, general outcome for every individual in the organization. So that is the end of my part in Zero Talk. So thank you for listening.